Because the paradox is nurses have big hearts, but empty cups, you know, and when you have an empty cup, life feels really hard. You give, you soothe, you carry everything. It feels like it's all on your shoulders, and the weight of the tasks that nurses have to perform and the responsibility that we carry um, isn't something we can ignore. But what we can do is really fill each other up, support each other, learn new skills. Coaching is a skill that we can learn that helps us build better teams and actually empowers our patients to take care of themselves better.
So I
So,
love this image that
yeah.
Teresa has found. When we talk about caring for the nurse first, I went around for days wondering, how do we do that? And then it occurred to me to go back to the very first tenet of the holistic nurses, which is take care of ourselves as a whole, body, mind, and spirit. So that is the overall picture. But some parts of that are reflected in this image. The starting from the bottom, absolutely rest. That was one of the findings of the ANA study, that nurses simply are not rested. Very, very problematic for all of us in the profession to have professional nurses who are not rested. Our work depends on our well-being. Movement, the second part, absolutely. We are so conditioned now. So many people are working on the computer and making phone calls and just are not giving themselves the time that is required to actually move in a beneficial way. I do know that nurses run up and down the halls all day long, every day, and certainly I was have been one of those too. But movement is lack of movement is now considered as problematic as smoking was in the past. Going out in nature. I mean, one of the things that a holistic nurse president has suggested to her clients is that you do absolutely nothing for 10 minutes every day. And if you can, be out in nature while you're doing absolutely nothing. That really nourishes us as human beings to get that fresh oxygen and just feel the wind in our face and be able to smell the flowers as we go along our way. So all three of these things added together make us more capable of being creative people. And without rest and movement, we can't be creative. We also need alone time, especially, well, as we know, some are more introverted than others, and alone time is important for all of us. But the value of solitude has been way, way underestimated. There's a huge epidemic now of loneliness, and it's very concerning in regard to identifying loneliness as a point where even surgeries are not beneficial when loneliness is identified as one of the problems going into the surgery. The patient doesn't have as good a chance of survival, even especially as a woman. Then connection, a community to belong to, something larger than just ourselves. In our society today, we spend so much time thinking about just us, just ourselves. And we need a larger view to be able to connect with other people to really fulfill our purpose on the planet. And then we'll talk about nourishment. At Christmas time, that's often um, an easy one to solve, but of course it has to be nourishing food, nourishing beverages, and not all the artificial colors and flavors and sugars. And then the last one, which Teresa and I really have had an opportunity over the last couple of weeks, the last month, to spend some additional time on reflection. And that is absolutely what this time of year brings us to. I know one of you let us know that your electricity is potentially going to be cut off very soon. And it it is a problem in the cold weather, but it's a wonderful time for reflection and just being calm and knowing that we're connected to a larger energy source that supports all of us as human beings.